You know how to say, "He didn't come to the party." That's a fact. It tells us what happened. But how do you express your guess about why it happened? How do you say that you are 95% sure he forgot? Or 50% sure he was busy? Or 99% sure he didn't know about it? To do this, you need the grammar of a detective. You need to be able to look at the evidence and make logical guesses about the past. You need modal verbs of deduction, and today, we are going to solve the case. Welcome back to our advanced series, English Grammar Unlocked. I'm your host, Scarlett. Today, we are learning how to make logical guesses about the past using a special set of modal verbs that will make your English sound much more intelligent and fluent. In this episode, we will turn a grammar lesson into a mini mystery. First, we will join two friends, Liam and Chloe, as they try to solve the puzzle of their missing friend, and see how they use modals to express different levels of certainty. Second, we will master 10 essential vocabulary words for speculation and deduction. And finally, for our language focus, we will break down the certainty scale for must have, might divided by could have, and can't have. Are you ready to put on your detective hat? Our mystery begins at a party. The music is playing, people are laughing, but two friends, Liam and Chloe, are looking worried. Let's listen to their conversation. Part 1. The almost certain guess. Must have. Chloe looks at her watch for the third time. "Where is Ben?" she asks Liam. "The party started an hour ago. He is never this late." Liam thinks for a moment. He remembers his last conversation with Ben. "You know," he says, "I talked to him yesterday, and I reminded him about the party, but he seemed really distracted. He was talking all about a new big project at his job. He seemed very stressed and busy." Liam looks at Chloe with a look of realization. "I know what happened. He must have forgotten about it. Let's pause our mystery here. This is our first clue." Liam says, "He must have forgotten." He uses must have plus the past participle. We use this structure when we are very certain about something in the past, maybe 95% sure. We don't have 100% proof, we can't see inside Ben's brain, but based on the available evidence, it is the most logical and almost certain conclusion. The evidence here is that Ben was distracted and stressed about work. Therefore, the logical deduction is that the party was not on his mind. He must have forgotten. You use this when you have strong reasons to believe something happened. For example, if you see a friend with a new expensive car, you can say, "Wow, you must have gotten a promotion." But what if you're not so sure? What if there isn't strong evidence, and there are several different possibilities? Let's explore the language of maybe. Part 2. The 50/50 possibility. Might have divided by could have. Chloe considers Liam's idea. Maybe, she says. But Ben loves parties. He was really looking forward to this one. I don't know if he would just forget. She looks out the window at the busy street. The traffic was really bad this evening when I was coming here. It's possible he's just late. He might have gotten stuck in traffic. She thinks of another idea. Or, she says, he could have had an issue with his car. He's been having problems with it lately, and he said he needed to take it to the mechanic. Let's pause here for our second clue. Chloe uses might have plus the past participle and could have plus the past participle. We use these structures when we think something was possible in the past. But we are not very certain. This is for a 50% guess. They are perfect for expressing one of several different possibilities. Chloe doesn't have any strong evidence. She doesn't know for sure if Ben is in traffic or if his car is broken. Both are just possibilities. Might have and could have are often interchangeable in these situations. For example, if your friend doesn't answer their phone, you can say, she might have left her phone at home, or she could have run out of battery. Both are just speculations. We know how to express strong certainty and weak possibility. But how do we express the opposite? How do we say that we are almost certain something didn't happen, or that it was impossible? Let's hear Chloe's final deduction. Part 3. The almost impossible guess. Can't have divided by couldn't have. Liam suggests another theory. Maybe, he says, he just didn't want to come? Maybe he's secretly mad at us. Chloe immediately shakes her head. No way, she says with certainty. That's impossible. The last time I spoke to him, he said he was really excited to see everyone. He can't have known we were all waiting for him, and then just decided to stay home. That's not like him at all. She checks her phone. And I've been trying to call him, but his phone is going straight to voicemail. The battery must be dead. He couldn't have received my text messages asking where he is. This is our final, and very important, clue. Chloe uses can't have plus the past participle and couldn't have plus the past participle. We use these structures to express that we are very certain, maybe 99% sure, that something was impossible or did not happen in the past. Chloe's evidence is that Ben was excited about the party. Because of this strong evidence, the opposite idea that he didn't want to come seems impossible to her. So she says, he can't have known. Couldn't have is very similar, and is also used to express this idea of impossibility in the past. If you see your friend looking happy and relaxed, you can say, you can't have gotten bad news today. Our detectives have laid out all the theories, from the almost certain to the almost impossible. Now, are you ready to become a grammar expert? Let's analyze the tools of deduction they used. Part 4. Language focus. First, let's master our 10 new vocabulary words for today's investigation. Our first word is deduction. A deduction is a conclusion that you reach by thinking about the known facts. For example, Liam's deduction was that Ben must have forgotten. Another example is, the detective solved the crime through careful deduction. Our second word is speculation. Speculation is the act of guessing possible answers to a question without having enough information to be certain. For example, Chloe's ideas about the traffic were just speculation. Another example is, there is a lot of speculation about the company's future. Our third word is certainty. Certainty is the state of being completely sure that something is true. For example, we use must have to express a high degree of certainty. Another example is, I cannot say with certainty what will happen. Next, we have possibility. A possibility is a chance that something may happen or be true. For example, might have and could have are used to talk about a past possibility. Another example is, there is a small possibility that I will be late. Our fifth word is impossibility. Impossibility is the state of being impossible. For example, we use can't have to express the impossibility of a past event. Another example is, he was faced with the impossibility of the task. The sixth word is evidence. Evidence is the set of facts or signs that help you form a conclusion or belief. For example, the detective looked for evidence at the crime scene. Another example is, you need evidence to support your argument. Our seventh word is logical. Logical means using clear, sound reasoning. For example, he must have forgotten was a logical conclusion based on the evidence. Another example is, she presented a very logical argument. Next, we have to assume. To assume means to believe that something is true, without having any real proof. For example, don't just assume you know the answer, you should ask. Another example is, I assumed you were coming to the party. Our ninth word is mystery. A mystery is something that is difficult to understand or explain. For example, our little mystery is, where is Ben? Another example is, the book is a classic murder mystery, and our final phrase is to figure out. To figure out means to understand or solve something. For example, Liam and Chloe are trying to figure out why Ben is late. Another example is, I can't figure out how to use this new software. Now for our grammar focus. Modal verbs of deduction for the past. The best way to remember these is with a certainty scale. Imagine a scale from 100% to 0%. At the top, around 95%, certain that something happened, we use must have plus past participle. He must have been busy. In the middle, around 50%, certain that something maybe happened, we use might have or could have plus past participle. He might have missed the bus. And at the bottom, around 99%, certain that something did not happen because it's impossible or illogical, we use can't have or couldn't have plus past participle. He can't have forgotten. The structure is always the same. Modal plus, have plus the past participle. You've learned the theory of how to sound like a grammar detective. Now, let's put on our trench coats and practice solving some mysteries of our own. Part 5. Practice tips for the 4 skills. For listening, watch a short clip from a mystery movie or a detective show like Sherlock or Knives Out. When the detectives are discussing the case, Listen for these modal verbs of deduction. You will hear them say things like, he must have, she couldn't have, all the time. For speaking, let's play a game with your AI tutor. Give it a mysterious situation. For example, I came home and my favorite cake is gone from the refrigerator. Then, use your voice to make 3 deductions using our modals. My brother must have eaten it. Or, my dog might have jumped on the counter. My mom can't have thrown it away. She knew I was saving it. For reading, find a short mystery story online for English learners. As you read, highlight all the sentences where the characters are speculating or making deductions about what happened in the past. And for writing, use your journal to write about a small, funny mystery from your own life. For example, why did my package arrive late? Write a few sentences of deduction. The delivery driver must have been very busy. He could have gotten lost. The company can't have forgotten about my order. Part 6. Your next action. Today, you have learned the tools of a detective. You can now go beyond stating simple facts about the past. You can analyze, speculate, and make logical guesses. This is a sophisticated skill that will make your English conversations much more intelligent, interesting, and natural. As we conclude, let's quickly summarize our case. We followed Liam and Chloe's mystery and learned about the certainty scale of modal verbs for past deduction. We use must have for strong certainty, might have or could have for possibility, and can't have or couldn't have for impossibility. We also learned 10 new vocabulary words for our detective toolkit. As a review, those words were deduction, speculation, certainty, possibility, impossibility, evidence, logical, to assume, mystery, and to figure out. Now, I have a final mini mystery for you. Your friend arrives late for a meeting. They are soaking wet, but it is not raining now. What must have happened? What might have happened? Share your deductions in the comments below. If you are committed to making this mindset a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend by sharing this video with someone you know who loves to solve puzzles. And to lock in your commitment to learning, subscribe and smash that notification bell so you don't miss our next workout. Remember, every conversation is a chance to listen for clues. Until next time, take care and happy learning.